Good morning. I can say morning because it's not yet noon. Today we are discussing for at least the first hour and 45 minutes the joint session of Congress, where they are going to certify Trump's 2024 presidential victory over Vice President Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, according to the U.S. Constitution, is required to certify the election as the president of the U.S. Senate. She will sit over this joint session, and during this joint session, we're going to see Vice President-elect J.D. Vance potentially vote to uphold the certification of a state or two if there is a questioning of whether or not a state count is inaccurate. The reason why you saw me close the tab for the National Archives is because I thought there was information on the National Archives that I could pull for the election, but I cannot. I cannot seem to find what I was looking for. Oh, I forgot to say, today is January 6th, 2025. And we start the certification joint session starts in approximately 4.5 minutes. YouTube. I need my headphones. There's my headphones. That would be why. Okay. All right, we have about a minute and a half left before the telecast from the courtesy of the Associated Press starts. I would like to thank the Associated Press for bringing this telecast of the session in the Senate on the Senate floor to the people. As soon as this telecast starts, I'm going to full screen it. I also asked if someone from the Associated Press sees this, next time you do an event like this where you're streaming, maybe like for the inauguration or whatever, please block the comments. Or turn them off. Oh, also, breaking today, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada has resigned from the premiership, and the parliament is brocated, or not brocated. Parliament is suspended until until his replacement has been chosen. We're waiting for the Associated Press to bring us this certification. Let me refresh the page, see if that pops it up. It did not. Let me see if I can find another. Let me pull another tab over. See if I can find another one. Let's see, is okay. All right, I have found a stream. Just need the tab. Let's get rid of this. So actually, this is being brought to us by PBS NewsHour. The House has convened before the joint session for a prayer. This is the new House chaplain that was appointed on Friday. I don't have a flag in my room. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So those are your house tellers? So 12:55 p.m. I guess is when we're starting the joint session. So historically, the joint session of Congress has been used as purely ceremonial for this specific engagement. But in 2021, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, asked that Vice President Pence please take into effect his complete role of the vice president and refuse to certify and send back the electoral votes to the states, which the vice president does not have the power to do. In 2021, Republicans within the House objected to, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was 5 states. And during the objection to one of those states, when they were in their separate houses, convened to discuss, argue, and vote on whether or not the House should be the House should, or the House and Senate should send the slate of electors back to the state and appoint a new slate of electors. The Capitol fencing was breached. The Capitol then itself was breached, and we had the January 6th riots. So we have, duplicate that. Let's go back to the other stream. So it looks like we have about about 42 minutes before they start. Let's check the Washington Post. Nope. All right, Washington Post doesn't have a good stream. There's another one, but it doesn't show up. Let me pull another tab over, see if I can find a simulcast on YouTube. So the House is still in recess on that stream. I am trying to find some coverage. I'm surprised C-SPAN isn't up. That is interesting that I cannot find. You know what? While we're waiting, we will watch President Carter's Lying in Repose. President Carter died peacefully, surrounded by family on December 29th. His funeral is scheduled for Thursday. I think it's Thursday. Yes, it's Thursday. This is my way of paying respect to President Carter, since I'm here with you guys, not on my way up to Georgia. This is another historical event going on right now. The resignation of Justin Trudeau is happening up in Canada. There's an investigation for a terrorist attack that happened on New Year's Eve. There's a lot that's going on today. But this is for you, President Carter. As a family who was very active in our U.S. Navy, I pay my respects to a former Navy officer who was a nuclear engineer on a nuclear sub during World War II, who then, out of the grace of his heart, became governor of Georgia. And then, after being governor of Georgia for 8 years, ran and achieved the highest office in the nation. He may have not been a really good president, but he did. He did actually create peace within the Middle East. I have a message. Did my professor reach back out to me? Today is also the starting of my spring semester for my bachelor's degree in education. Wednesday from 4:45 to 6. It's face to face. picking that up tomorrow morning when I get onto campus. I'll do that on my phone, actually. I need to reach out to one of my professors. I understand it's hard to keep your kids quiet. You want to take your kids to say goodbye to the former president, but really allowing them to be on a device while they do that, playing a video out loud at such a solemn event. I'm not one to judge someone's parenting. That kind of really just hit me. Let's see if I... All right, so 12:55 is still the time. Oh, they must be changing guard. All right, so we have 25 minutes. This is a 25-minute warning. So yes, they were changing the guard. Why do they have bayonets on their guns? Like, I understand the president is lying in repose. And they need to protect the president, but really? Well, that was the. I had two sneezes in a row, and that was those. I apologize to any future students that may hear that. This is mostly for lesson sake. Um, because I plan on teaching government, so it would be nice to have some sort of educational system that I can use. And this is a current event, while the main current event, well, one of the main current events of the day is being discussed. Or we're waiting for it to start. So for the first like 2 hours, hour and a half, we're looking for. We're also gonna be looking for let's do. Let me bring you Trudeau. Let me bring you Trudeau's speech. I'm going to bring you the other current event of this morning before the certification of Congress. Prorogued. CBS News, current. Let's make sure we're caught up to current on both of these. So it looks like the AP won't have, but they will. So I'm going to be using the PBS NewsHour stream because they are offering closed captions. The reason why you showed me why I opened up that new tab is because I would like to look up something to see if we've had any announcements for who is going to let me change the title for this live stream. I did not expect to be waiting this long, but hey. we might be getting towards another changing of the guard because all these people have stopped. I have a 7.
It would be kind of.
I apologize for the background noise. Hello, other viewers. I see that I have 3. Going to edit the title in Studio right now. Hopefully it lets me do that. YouTube. There we go. All right, so I'm re-downloading YouTube Studio because I need to edit the title of the stream because I'm currently not covering the events, so I have to add some stuff on to the stream. Actually, let me refresh. And see if it caught it on the back end of it. Did not. All right, so we have a couple more minutes, literally a couple more minutes. So we're going to be switching over in a moment. I will have a video on my other channel later on. All right, so it looks like we have what? A couple more minutes left. Their cameras will come back on momentarily, though. So I'm going to cut that feed, open that up. And we're just going to sit here in silence. Because I have nothing to talk about. Can I edit? Let me switch the account on here. Switch account. That one. See if I can get it to fix on the back end on YouTube, on my actual channel, on video. See if it pops up in Creator Studio while I'm live on the web. It's not popping up on the app. All right, so we have So when do the Supreme Court TikTok? When does that go in front of the Supreme Court? Still Friday. Okay. So Friday afternoon, I will be posting a link in the community tab to a live stream from YouTube, one of YouTube's premier lawyers, Emily D. Baker, who is going to be covering the Supreme Court's oral arguments to the TikTok ban. Oh, it is 12:55. Let me check something. Let me see if they're just behind. Floor proceedings launch. Is it still? Yes, it is. Oh, but it's loading. Let me refresh this because I see clapping on the floorcast. There we go. There's the vice president. There's the speaker. I don't know who's the woman standing next to the vice president on her left. But here we go. The senators and representatives elect, or not elect, senators and representatives will come into the room. And will sit down. I think this is the House floor. I have the floor cast up. So now members from both houses get to greet each other for the first time this Congress. There's a ton of new members in the House and about 5 new members in the Senate. So this is probably the first time some of these members are meeting each other. They're going to be working together for the next 2 years on getting legislation passed with the incoming administration coming in being a Republican administration, and the Democrats losing control of the Senate and the Republicans retaining control of the House. We have a Republican trifecta in the federal legislative, judicial, and executive branches. I think this is the first time in my lifetime that all 3 branches have a Republican leaning at the same time. I could be wrong. It could have happened in 2004. Not 2004, 2000. Because in 2004, the Democrats picked up, I think it was in the 2004 election, I believe the Republicans picked up, or the Democrats picked up control of one of the chambers. There's one of the new senators right there. That's Andy Kim, this gentleman right here. He used to be a member of the House from New Jersey. He ran to succeed Senator Bob Menendez. When Bob Menendez was indicted and then convicted of the crimes that he was accused of, being him taking money from foreign governments and being corrupt, very extremely corrupt. Not just a little corruption. He went far out with his corruption. He had gold bars from Cairo, Egypt, in a safe in his house, and he got accused of it, and he said, "That's not mine. I'm holding it for a friend." This is the first time that the vice president, the speaker, and the new majority leader in the Senate are going to be sitting up on the dais together. And I think this is probably the first time that the new Republican majority leader in the Senate has himself met with the vice president in his current position. I could be wrong there. They could have met during the debate and negotiations for the budgeting fiasco that happened right before Christmas. But I could be wrong. As I don't have, unlike a lot of these news agencies, I don't have inside. I don't know of inside dealings until they come out. I believe we can see I believe we will see the vice president elect today. as he is a member of the U.S. Senate. But pretty much after today, after the confirmation of his victory by the U.S. House and U.S. Senate during this prolonged event, he will be resigning his post in the U.S. Senate to become the vice president. He's going to have to do that pretty soon, and the governor of Ohio, which I believe is Mike DeWine, is going to have to Mike DeWine is going to have to appoint his replacement. You're also going to probably see Marco Rubio resign after today because he's going to be going into confirmation hearings. To become the next Secretary of State. And the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. Oh, speaking of the vice president elect, there's the vice president elect. And I think, is Marco in that group? Excuse me, Senator Rubio. Is he in that group? The House will come to order. I need the House to come to order. I love how it says several states. We have 50. Who are this? I don't know who the Senate tellers are. Oh, is that? Did they choose Democrats? Because that's Amy Klobuchar to the far left. And I think that's I don't know who that is. Right next to the speaker's podium. Okay, that's Deb Fisher. She is a Republican from Nebraska. That's right. We need order. So we're at Arizona. Arizona should be the next state. No objections so far. That was a state that could have been objected to if the Democrats had decided to get an objection. Okay, so this is California. We could also have Republicans object if they seem that a state should have gone to the vice president or the president elect. It's almost like, hey, get out of my way, please. I believe Deb Fisher was the race that almost didn't get won by the Republicans. Another state that can be objected to if the Democrats decide to. go back to the beginning. Because I've missed some states. I'm filling out the electoral map as they confirm it. So we already have Alabama. I didn't think about this until after they got to like Illinois. DC. I think that's what I was missing. Alaska. Arkansas. I'm missing Delaware. Oh, I got Delaware. G. I. J. Arkansas. So that was Hawaii. Idaho. That's what I was missing. I'm missing another one. Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Kansas, Kentucky. So Maryland would be the next one, which is Democrat. That can stay like that. It's Maryland, Massachusetts, Missouri is Republican. Arkansas, that's already been counted. We're a little bit behind because I made a mistake or two. Not DC. Kansas. Oh, Louisiana. The next one is Massachusetts. Missouri should be next. Oh, Michigan. Then Minnesota. Okay, so she gets to do her own state. Nebraska should be next. Oh, Missouri. What did Deb Fisher? Oh, Mississippi. Okay. Montana is after. Missouri. That's our current count. So Nebraska is next. New York should be. No, New Hampshire should be next. Nevada. No objection. Okay. New York, New Jersey's next, or New Jersey's next, then New York. Oh, New Mexico, then New York. I already marked New Mexico off though. So that's already done. So New York's next. My home state. That's the next state, North Dakota. Oregon's the next state. Then Pennsylvania. Is this going to be the first time in my lifetime that no one objects? I'm waiting to see if anyone rises to object. Nope. So South Vermont is next. No. South Carolina. So there were no objections today. There's 3 more states Harris won on election night. Those being Virginia, Vermont, and Washington. And there are 4 states for Trump. Tennessee, Texas, there's that. No, West Virginia was definitely not a. Vermont. I mean, Washington is next. I could have just kept them, and then West Virginia. So for the first time, I think in my lifetime, there was 0 objections to any states. I can't remember what they did in 2008, but in 2004 there was objections. In 2000 there was definitely objections. In 2012 there were objections. all of the Democrats are quiet. That whole entire side of the room is Republicans. There's some Republicans clapping for her, which is, I think, the right thing to do, as she is the outgoing vice president. I think that just shows the regret she has for picking Tim Walz, because this might be a different day for her if she had chosen someone like Josh Shapiro. Can I live stream that day? It's a Monday. No, I can't. So in 14 days, the president-elect and the vice president-elect will be inaugurated as 47 and 50. So, according to JJ Poff on Twitter, today was the first time not a single congressional Democrat objected to the victory of a Republican presidential candidate since 1988. And that will conclude it. There is our vice president elect. He has been confirmed to be the next vice president of the United States. He will succeed Kamala Harris at noon on January 20th, 2024. So that was House a unanimous consent. I'm pulling up these unanimous consent requests that were just agreed to with no objection. House floor activities. So that we can look at them. So that they were what? So that's stand schedule. Here's that. Bill's quick search. And I think the other one was HRES 5. So here's the bill. After July 31st. So that's the next time that they're going to go on break is July 31st. All right, so that's what that was. Let's look at the other one. That's the wrong browser. Where's the one with Mr. Aguilar? I want to make sure I'm getting the number right. So it's House Res 14. Bills and report. Quick search. $14. All right, and then this is HRES 14. That's from last Congress. When did this get agreed to? That is last Congress. That was not the right bill. Where is the one that Mr. Aguilar? I think I spelled his name right. Aguilar. Go back to this. Get rid of 23. Just do 25. All right. Nope. All right. So I can't find it. That's interesting. Roll call votes. First session. This House of Representatives. That's HR 5. So all the Democrats voted against it. All right. That's the House rules. All right. I am going to jump off because there is nothing going on. Thank you for joining me. That was almost 2 hours and 2.25 hours. That's not bad for them agreeing on things. That's probably the only agreement we'll see. The next time I'll live stream is probably I might cover some stuff after the inauguration, you know, if there's major protests or what have you. And I might try on Thursday to stream the funeral, the state funeral of former President Jimmy Carter. But thank you guys. Bye.